Major Ta stood nervously in the shuttle bay of the UDF Dauntless, watching as armed human security officers escorted Sub-Admiral Rock and other captured Krellix officers into detention areas. Unlike his Krellix allies, Ta had surrendered immediately when contacted by the human fleet. A door slid open and Commander Lee entered. She was smaller than Tay expected, but her presence filled the room. She wore a simple dark uniform with minimal insignia, nothing like the ornate military dress of Alliance officers. Major Ta, she said, extending her hand in what her briefing had told her was a Narai greeting gesture. Thank you for accepting my invitation. Ta returned the gesture cautiously. I had little choice, Commander. Your demonstration was convincing. Lee nodded. Please follow me. They walked through corridors lined with technology unlike anything Tai had seen before. The ship seemed to hum with energy that he could feel rather than hear. Your warnings to the Krellix fleet were noted in their communications logs, Lee said as they walked. You tried to prevent this conflict. I suspected your species might be more advanced than our intelligence suggested, Tay replied. The Krellix are often overconfident. They entered a conference room where several human officers waited around a table. Through the viewport, Ta could see New Terra below, with disabled Krellix ships drifting in orbit. Why did the Alliance attack our colony? Lee asked directly once they were seated. Ta hesitated, then decided honesty was his only option. Fear, Commander. Your species progresses at an alarming rate. The Alliance detected your radio transmissions only 50 years ago. By our estimates, most species take centuries to advance from radio to space travel. You did it in decades. And this justified attacking civilians. No, Tay admitted. But the Krellix convinced some Alliance members the humans were inherently violent and dangerous. They used your entertainment broadcasts as evidence, your films showing warfare, your books describing conflict. Engineer Han, seated across from Tai, shook his head. You judged our entire species based on our fiction. A mistake, Tay acknowledged, one that many of us recognized too late. The Krellix acted without full Alliance approval. On the colony surface, the cleanup had begun. Captain Kim coordinated with UDF troops as they rounded up surrendering Krellix ground forces. The aliens offered no resistance after learning their fleet had been defeated. Dr. Min emerged from a hidden laboratory beneath the science complex, carrying data drives containing his research. He approached Kim as she supervised the processing of prisoners. Captain, I need to speak with the Earth commanders as soon as possible, he said urgently. Kim looked at him curiously. About what, Doctor? About what happens next, Min replied. The technology that allowed our fleet to arrive so quickly, it's based on my research. But there's more to it than just faster ships. 2 weeks later, representatives from all 7 species of the Galactic Alliance arrived at Earth for emergency diplomatic talks. The massive Alliance diplomatic vessel orbited alongside UDF ships, a visible sign of the changing power dynamics. In a large conference room in Geneva, Ambassador Song led the human delegation. The aliens sat across from them, their diverse forms highlighting the variety of sentient life in the galaxy. We deeply regret the attack on your colony, the Lenari ambassador began. The Krellix acted without authorization. They will face our justice for their actions. Song nodded. We accept your apology, but we require more than words. Humanity expects compensation for the damage done and guarantees this will never happen again. Of course, the Lenari agreed, but we must also discuss your technological advancements. The capabilities your ships displayed are concerning to some Alliance members. Song smiled slightly. You mean because we've developed technology you thought was theoretical? Precisely. The quantum manipulation your ships employed. Our scientists have theorized about such applications for generations. You achieved it in decades. Commander Lee, now sitting beside Song, spoke up. We did not develop this technology to threaten anyone, but we will use it to defend ourselves when necessary. The Alliance representatives conferred briefly among themselves. The Alliance proposes a technological exchange program, the Lenari ambassador finally said. We have much to learn from each other. In a quiet corner of the conference building, Major Todd met with Dr. Min. The human scientist had requested this private meeting through diplomatic channels. Your analysis of our quantum technology was remarkably accurate, Min said without preamble. Few species could have recognized its potential so quickly. Tay's eyes widened. You read my report. Commander Lee shared it. You understood what you were seeing, even with limited information. My people value observation and analysis, Ta said modestly. But I never imagined the practical applications you've achieved. Min smiled. That's why I asked to meet you. Earth is establishing a joint research initiative. We need individuals who can think beyond conventional limitations. The formal treaty between Earth and the Galactic Alliance was signed 3 days later. Humanity would join as full members, the 8th species in the coalition. At the ceremony, Admiral Pak watched from the back of the room, his Krellick's pride wounded but his perspective forever changed. We could have destroyed your fleet entirely, Ambassador Song had told him privately. We chose not to. Remember that before judging other species by their capacity for violence rather than their restraint in using it. As the Alliance representatives prepared to depart, Commander Lee stood at a viewport watching their ships. Engineer Han joined her. What do you think will happen now? He asked. Lee considered the question. They'll be cautious around us for a generation. Some will fear us, others will seek our friendship, but they'll never underestimate humanity again. Is that a good thing? It's necessary, Lee replied. Sometimes peace requires demonstrating the capacity for overwhelming force, while having the wisdom never to use it unless absolutely necessary. The UDF Dauntless moved silently through space, leading the human fleet into attack position. On the bridge, Commander Lee received the incoming transmission from the Krellick's command ship. Put it on screen, she ordered. Sub-Admiral Rock's gray face appeared before her. His eyes narrowed as he studied the human commander. This is Sub-Admiral Rock of the Galactic Alliance. You have entered a military operation zone. Leave immediately or be destroyed. Lee's expression remained neutral. This is Commander Lee of the United Defense Force. You are attacking Earth citizens on New Terra. Your unprovoked aggression has resulted in civilian casualties. You will withdraw immediately or face the consequences. Rock laughed. You bring 6 ships against my fleet. Your bravery is admirable, but foolish. How did you arrive so quickly? Our intelligence indicated your propulsion technology was primitive. Your intelligence is outdated, Lee replied simply. This is your only warning. Withdraw now. Rock's face hardened. We came to eliminate a threat. Your arrival confirms our assessment. All ships, open fire on the human vessels. The transmission cut off. Lee turned to her tactical officer. Activate quantum shields. Hold position. Energy beams lanced out from 20 Krellick's warships, converging on the human fleet. The deadly barrage struck the UDF vessels and simply disappeared, absorbed by shimmering blue fields surrounding each ship. On the Krellick's command vessel, the weapons officer stared at his readouts in disbelief. Sir, no damage registered to enemy ships. They're shields. They're absorbing our energy weapons completely. Impossible, Rock muttered. Launch disruptor torpedoes. Full spread. The Krellick ships fired again, launching physical projectiles that accelerated toward the human fleet. Aboard the Dauntless, Engineer Han monitored the shield systems. Quantum shields holding at 97% capacity, he reported. They're launching kinetic weapons now. Lee nodded. Evade as needed. Prepare quantum disruptors. Target their propulsion systems first, weapons second. We want to disable, not destroy if possible. The human ships moved with startling agility, dodging most of the incoming torpedoes. The few that connected exploded against the quantum shields, causing them to flare bright blue, but otherwise doing no damage. All ships. Execute Protocol Thunderbolt, Lee ordered. The 6 UDF vessels changed formation, spreading out to surround the Krellick's fleet. From each human ship, a thin beam of concentrated energy emerged, not the crude laser weapons the Krellicks expected, but focused streams of quantum particles that ignored conventional shielding. The beams sliced through the Krellick ships with surgical precision, targeting engines and weapon systems. 7 enemy vessels lost power immediately, drifting helplessly in space. 5 more spun out of control as their navigation systems failed. On the Krellick's command ship, chaos erupted. Multiple ships disabled. Enemy weapons penetrating our shields as if they weren't there. The tactical officer shouted. Rock gripped his command chair as his vessel shuddered. Return fire. All remaining ships concentrate on their lead vessel. The surviving Krellick ships redirected their attack toward the Dauntless, unleashing everything in their arsenal. Energy beams, torpedoes, and projectiles filled the space between them. Lee remained steady as her ship easily evaded the barrage. Target their command vessel. Disable their primary systems, but maintain structural integrity. The Dauntless accelerated suddenly, moving so quickly it seemed to blur. It reappeared directly above Rock's command ship, close enough that the Krellick's crew could see it through their viewport. A single quantum beam lanced downward, cutting through the command ship's upper decks with precision. Power flickered throughout the vessel as critical systems failed. Direct hit on their command center, the tactical officer reported. Their weapons and propulsion are offline. Lee opened a channel to the remaining Krellick ships. This is Commander Lee. Your command vessel has been disabled. Your fleet is outmatched. Power down your weapons and engines, or we will be forced to take more permanent action. On the crippled Krellick's command ship, Rock stared at the tactical display in shock. Half his fleet disabled in less than 3 minutes. No casualties yet. The humans had deliberately avoided hitting life support systems, but his mighty armada was effectively neutralized. Sir, his second-in-command said quietly, we should consider their terms. Surrender. To humans. Rock spat the words. Sir, they could have destroyed us. They chose not to. He gestured to the redouts. Whatever technology they're using, we have no defense against it. From the surface of New Terra, Captain Kim and the colonists watched in awe as the night sky lit up with the battle. What should have been a lengthy engagement was over almost as soon as it began. Are those our ships? Jun asked, pointing to the 6 vessels now positioned around the disabled Krellick's fleet. Kim smiled. Yes. Earth sent our newest ships. She activated her communicator. This is Captain Kim to UDF vessels. New Terra Colony welcomes you. Commander Lee's voice came through clearly. Captain, this is Commander Lee on the Dauntless. Hold position. We'll handle the remaining enemy forces in orbit, then assist with any ground troops. On Major Ta's monitoring vessel at the system's edge, the crew watched in stunned silence as the Krellick's fleet, considered one of the most powerful in the Alliance, was systematically disabled by just 6 human ships. I tried to warn them, Ta said quietly. The humans have technology far beyond our understanding. His analyst looked up from his console. Sir, the human vessels are hailing us. Ta straightened his uniform. Accept the transmission. It seems we have much to learn about our new neighbors. 3 days into the Krellick's attack on New Terra, the situation for the human colonists grew desperate. Captain Kim led the remaining defense forces from an underground command center beneath the colony's main settlement. The room was dim, lit only by emergency lighting and the glow of screens showing enemy positions. They've taken the western agricultural sector, Kim told her exhausted team. We need to evacuate any civilians still hiding there. A young security officer named Jun wiped sweat from his brow. That's the 3rd sector this morning. We're running out of places to hide people. Kim knew he was right. The underground bunkers were designed for temporary protection during storms, not a military siege. Food and medical supplies were dangerously low. But their latest hit-and-run attack had destroyed a Krellick's ground transport, buying them precious time. Help is coming, she reminded them. though doubt crept into her voice. Earth had received their distress call, but could anyone reach them in time? Above the colony, Sub-Admiral Rock supervised the final preparations for a full ground assault from his command ship. The resistance from the humans was irritating but ultimately futile. "Status report," he demanded of his tactical officer. "Ground forces have secured 70% of the colony infrastructure. Resistance is concentrated in these underground areas." The officer highlighted several locations on a tactical display. "We've detected unusual energy signatures. They may have hidden weapons or technology we haven't cataloged." Rock considered this. "Prepare the sonic disruptors. We'll collapse their tunnels and force them to surrender." "Sir," a sensor operator suddenly called out. "Unknown readings at the edge of the system." Rock turned. "Define unknown." "Energy signatures unlike anything in our database. They appeared suddenly near the outer planet." "Show me," Rock ordered. The main screen switched to a long-range scan of the system's edge. 6 points of blue light had appeared where nothing had been moments before. "Analysis," Rock demanded. "Ships, sir. Configuration unknown. Definitely not matching any human vessels we've encountered." Rock's second-in-command stepped closer to the display. "Could be mercenaries. Some species will fight for anyone with enough credits." "Or a trick," Rock said. "Some kind of projection to make us think reinforcements have arrived." He made a dismissive gesture. "Continue with the ground assault preparations. Order 2 patrol vessels to investigate these anomalies." On his monitoring ship at the system's edge, Major Tab received the sensor data with growing alarm. His analyst confirmed what he already suspected. "Sir, these energy readings are consistent with theoretical models for quantum field manipulation. If humans have mastered this technology." Ta didn't wait for him to finish. "Send a priority message to Sub-Admiral Rock. These ships must be treated as a serious threat." "Sir, the Krelliks have already dismissed our earlier warnings." Tay's jaw tightened. "Send it anyway. And prepare our engines. We may need to withdraw quickly." Aboard the UDF Dauntless, Commander Lee stood on the bridge as her ship and 5 others emerged from quantum space exactly where planned. The transition was smooth, a testament to Engineer Hand's skill with the new technology. "Quantum transition complete," her navigator reported. "All ships present and accounted for." Lee studied the tactical display. The enemy fleet surrounded New Terra in a standard blockade formation, with their largest vessel, presumably the command ship, in high orbit over the main colony. "Status of stealth systems?" she asked. "Fully operational. They've detected our arrival, but their scans can't penetrate our quantum shielding. They're sending patrol ships to investigate." Lee nodded. "Let them come a little closer. We want their command ship to commit to a response before we reveal our full capabilities." She turned to her communications officer. "Any signals from the surface? Sporadic transmissions, heavily encrypted. Colony resistance is still fighting, but they're in bad shape." Lee's expression hardened. "Tactical, prepare all weapons systems." "Engineer Han, status of the quantum disruptors." Han looked up from his station. "Charged and ready, Commander. I've never deployed them outside of testing, but the simulations were promising." "Today we move beyond simulations," Lee replied. Her voice remained calm, but there was steel in it. "These Krelliks attacked our people without warning or provocation. Today they learn what that means." On the colony surface, Captain Kim received a coded message that made her heart race. She gathered her team immediately. "Earth forces have arrived in the system," she announced. The tired faces around her showed disbelief, then hope. "Already?" "That's impossible," Jun said. Kim smiled for the first time in days. "Apparently not. We need to prepare our people. When the UDF engages the enemy in orbit, we strike at their ground forces." In his quarters aboard the command ship, Sub-Admiral Rock received a priority message from Major Ta. He read it with growing irritation. "More warnings about these mystery ships," he muttered. "The Major claims they use technology beyond our understanding." As he spoke, The sensor officer's voice came through the ship's communication system. "Sir, the patrol vessels report visual contact with unknown ships. They are, sir, they're human vessels, but unlike any we've encountered." The patrol commander requests instructions. Rock moved quickly to the bridge. "Show me these ships." The screen displayed 6 sleek vessels, their dark hulls absorbing light rather than reflecting it. They were arranged in perfect formation. "Primitive humans," Rock scoffed, but a flicker of doubt crossed his face. "Open a channel to their lead ship. Let's see what they think they're doing here." Retries. The Krellick's commander stared at the holographic display of New Terra. His forces surrounded the planet completely. 27 warships formed a blockade that no human vessel could penetrate. On the surface, his ground troops advanced steadily against weakening resistance. "These humans are strange," Sub-Admiral Rock observed to his second-in-command. "They fight fiercely, but their weapons are primitive. All the more reason to eliminate them now," his officer replied, "before they advance further." Rock nodded. Based on the Krellick's analysis, humans were centuries away from developing the technology needed for proper interstellar warfare. Their colony ships were slow. Their weapons relied on chemical propellants and crude energy beams. The attack on New Terra would serve as a lesson to Earth: stay within your borders or face extinction. What the Krelliks didn't know was that 3 years earlier, Dr. Min had made a breakthrough that changed everything. On Earth, the United Defense Force headquarters buzzed with activity. Commander Lee stood before a wall of screens displaying the readiness of her fleet. 6 ships, the newest and most advanced vessels humanity had ever built. "The Dauntless is ready," reported Chief Engineer Han, looking up from his tablet. "Final calibrations on the quantum drive are complete." Lee nodded. She was a small woman, barely 5 feet tall, but her presence dominated the room. 20 years in the UDF had earned her a reputation for calm efficiency under pressure. "What's the new estimated travel time?" she asked. 38 hours, Han replied. "We've pushed the drives to maximum safe parameters." Several officers exchanged glances. Before Dr. Min's discovery, such a journey would have taken weeks. Lee addressed her gathered commanders. "Our mission is simple: reach New Terra, eliminate the hostile forces, and secure the safety of our colonists." She pointed to a tactical display. "We'll emerge from quantum space here, behind the enemy fleet. No warning, no diplomacy." They attacked civilians without provocation. Across the room, Intelligence Officer Sung raised his hand. "Commander, we've intercepted communications between the alien vessels. They call themselves the Krelliks. They appear to be part of a larger coalition, something called the Galactic Alliance." "Have they stated their reasons for attacking?" Lee asked. "They believe we're too dangerous to be allowed to expand," Sung replied. "Based on our entertainment broadcasts, they've concluded we're inherently violent." A murmur ran through the room. "Well," Lee said with a thin smile, "let's not disappoint them." Meanwhile, aboard one of the smaller Alliance ships monitoring the Krelliks' operation, Major Tai frowned at his sensor readings. The Krelliks had ordered his vessel to maintain position at the edge of the New Terra system. As a member of the Narai species, Tai was more observant and cautious than his Krelliks allies. "Sir," his analyst called out, "we've intercepted human communications. Their military forces claim they will arrive within 2 Earth days." Tai's eyes widened. "That's impossible. Our calculations show their fastest ships would take at least 2 weeks to reach this system. The humans specifically mentioned something called quantum drive technology." Ta moved to the communications station. "Contact Sub-Admiral Rock immediately. He needs this information." Minutes later, Rock's irritated face appeared on screen. "This had better be important, Major." "Sir, the humans claim they can reach New Terra within 2 days. They mention technology we're not familiar with." Rock laughed. "Impossible. Their ships use basic fusion drives. We've studied their technology thoroughly." "With respect, sir, what if our intelligence is outdated? We've only observed their civilian vessels." Your concern is noted, Major. Now return to your monitoring duties and leave the fighting to the Krelliks. The transmission ended abruptly. Ty stared at the blank screen. Arrogance, he muttered. Back on Earth, the UDF Dauntless and 5 sister ships moved into position above the planet. Each vessel was sleek and dark, absorbing rather than reflecting light. They looked nothing like the bulky colony ships the aliens had observed. Commander Lee settled into the command chair on the bridge. All ships report ready, Commander, her first officer said. Begin quantum drive sequence, Lee ordered. Next stop, New Terra. The ships vanished from Earth orbit in flashes of blue light. In his private quarters, Admiral Pak reviewed the reports from New Terra with satisfaction. The human colony was nearly pacified. Soon, the Krelliks would establish a permanent base there, preventing further human expansion. His communication panel chimed. Admiral, we've intercepted an unusual transmission from Earth. Their defense forces launched 6 vessels approximately 10 hours ago. They claim these ships will reach New Terra within another day. Pak snorted. Impossible. Calculate the required speed for such a journey. The aide worked quickly. Sir, they would need to travel at speeds we've theoretically postulated but never achieved. A bluff then, Pak decided. Designed to keep their colonists fighting. Inform Rock to expedite his operation. I want that colony completely under control before any reinforcements arrive, whenever that might be. The aide hesitated. Sir, what if it's not a bluff? Pak stared at him coldly. Then we'll deal with 6 more primitive human vessels. How much trouble could they possibly be? The Galactic Alliance discovered Earth completely by accident. A routine survey ship detected unusual radio signals coming from a small blue planet in an unremarkable solar system. While 6 of the 7 species in the Alliance approached this discovery with scientific curiosity, the Krelliks reacted differently. Admiral Pak, the senior Krelliks military commander, sat alone in his quarters reviewing the transmissions from Earth. His gray skin reflected the blue glow of the screen as he watched humans acting out wars, battles, and conflicts in their entertainment media. Computer, show me more of these action films, as they call them, he ordered. Hours later, Pak called an emergency meeting of the Alliance Council. The tall, thin Krelliks stood before representatives of all 7 species. These humans are too dangerous, Pak declared, showing selected clips from Earth's broadcasts. They imagine war in extraordinary detail. Their fiction reveals their true nature. June of the peaceful Lenari species raised a tentacle in objection. We cannot judge an entire species based on their entertainment. We must act preemptively, Pak insisted, before they develop interstellar travel. The council debated for days but could not reach consensus. Finally, Pak took matters into his own hands. Without Alliance approval, he ordered a Krelliks battle fleet to the human colony world called New Terra. New Terra was humanity's most distant outpost, established only 15 years earlier. The colony was home to scientists, farmers, and families seeking a fresh start. Their modest defenses were designed to handle pirates or small threats, not a full-scale alien invasion. Captain Kim was monitoring communications when the alerts first sounded. At first, she thought it was a system malfunction. Sir, multiple objects entering orbit, her young technician reported, voice trembling. Kim adjusted her uniform and looked at the screen. How many? 53 large vessels. Nothing in our database matches their configuration. Kim felt her mouth go dry. Earth had only encountered 2 other alien species before, both peaceful traders. Send the first contact protocol message on all frequencies. No response came. Instead, the first energy blast struck the colony's small defensive outpost, vaporizing it instantly. This is New Terra colony calling Earth. We are under attack by unknown forces. Kim transmitted as alarms blared throughout the colony. Repeat, this is New Terra colony. We are under attack. Civilian population at risk. The message traveled across space toward Earth, but help was days away. On the colony surface, chaos erupted. Families grabbed emergency kits and ran for the underground shelters. Colony security forces deployed their limited weapons, knowing they stood little chance. Dr. Min watched the sky darken with alien ships from his laboratory window. He quickly transferred his research data to a portable drive and deleted the originals. His work on quantum physics might prove valuable if any humans survived this attack. The Krellick's commander, Sub-Admiral Rock, watched the primitive human defenses crumble from his bridge. These creatures are even weaker than we anticipated, he noted with satisfaction. Begin landing operations. I want this colony secured within 2 planetary rotations. Back on Earth, the distress call reached United Defense Force headquarters. General Park listened to the fragmented message before it cut off completely. Her face remained impassive, but her knuckles whitened as she gripped her desk. How long to reach New Terra with our fastest ships? She asked. 3 days minimum, General, her aide replied. Unacceptable. Make it happen faster, Park ordered, standing up. Alert all UDF ships. This is not a drill. We are at war. Within hours, Earth's military machine activated fully. Reserve officers reported for duty. Orbital shipyards accelerated work on vessels still under construction. The public was informed that an alien force had attacked a human colony. What the attacking Krelliks didn't realize was that humans had recently made significant breakthroughs in propulsion and weapons technology. General Park called in Commander Lee, Earth's most decorated officer. Commander, you'll lead our response fleet, Park told her. The Dauntless and 5 other advanced ships are being prepared now. Lee nodded grimly. We'll make it in time, General. These aliens attack civilians without provocation, Park said. Show them exactly why that was a mistake. On New Terra, survivors huddled in underground bunkers as Krellick's forces began landing operations. Captain Kim organized resistance fighters, but their weapons barely damaged the alien armor. We just need to hold out until help arrives, she told her frightened colonists. Earth won't abandon us. As Krellick's troops secured the colony's main facilities, Sub-Admiral Rock reported his success to Admiral Pak. The human threat is being neutralized, he said confidently. Their technology is primitive. Their weapons ineffective. Excellent, Pak replied. Ensure no warning reaches their homeworld. But the warning had already been received, and Earth's response was coming, faster than any species in the Galactic Alliance could possibly imagine.